exploring the world's most haunted places, calling all thrill seekers and ghost enthusiasts. Today, we're embarking on a spooky world tour, exploring 7 locations rumored to be crawling with paranormal activity. From ancient forts to abandoned asylums, we'll be diving into the history and hauntings that make these places legendary. So buckle up, because things are about to get creepy. We're talking unexplained noises, cold spots, and maybe even a full-on apparition or two, if we're lucky. Or unlucky, depending on how you feel about that sort of thing. Personally, I'm hoping for a good old-fashioned spectral encounter. Let's get this ghost hunt started. Our first stop takes us to the dusty plains of Rajasthan, India, to a place called Bhangarh Fort. Now, this 17th century fort has a reputation, and let me tell you, it's not for its stunning views. Locals will tell you that Bhangarh is cursed, haunted by the tormented souls trapped within its crumbling walls. The story goes that a local sorcerer, madly in love with the princess, tried to use black magic to win her heart. Let's just say it didn't go well. The princess found out. The sorcerer was banished, and in a fit of rage, he cursed the entire fort. Some say he died there, his vengeful spirit forever bound to the place. The stories about Bhangarh Fort are the kind that send shivers down your spine. Tales of disembodied voices, shadows moving in the darkness, and an overwhelming feeling of dread that settles upon you as soon as you step through the gate. They say the curse is so strong that the Indian government has actually forbidden anyone from staying within the fort's walls after dark. So, whether it's the sorcerer's curse, the restless spirits of those who perished within the fort's walls, or just the power of suggestion, Bhangarh Fort is a place where the veil between our world and the next feels terrifyingly thin. Our next destination keeps us in the eerie landscape of Rajasthan, India, but this time we're venturing to Kuldhara Village, a ghost town frozen in time. Imagine an entire village abandoned overnight, its inhabitants vanishing without a trace. That's Kuldhara. The story goes that back in the 19th century, a tyrannical minister fell head over heels for a villager's daughter. This minister, let's just say he wasn't big on no for an answer. He threatened the villagers, saying he'd impose crushing taxes if they didn't hand over the poor girl. Rather than submit to his demands, the villagers of Kuldhara and 83 nearby villages packed up their belongings and vanished into the night. To this day, no one knows for sure where they went. Some say they left a curse on the village, vowing that no one would ever be able to settle there again. And you know what? They were right. Kuldhara remains deserted to this day. Walking through the abandoned streets of Kuldhara, you can't help but feel a sense of unease. It's like stepping into a time capsule, frozen in the moment of the village's desperate flight. From the sun-drenched plains of India, we travel to the base of the iconic Mount Fuji in Japan, to a place shrouded in shadow and sorrow, Aokigahara Forest, also known as the Suicide Forest. This dense and silent forest has a long history of unexplained disappearances and a heavy atmosphere. The sunlight barely penetrates the thick canopy here. It's easy to see how someone could get lost, and the silence is almost deafening. Whether it's truly haunted or not, Aokigahara Forest has an undeniably unsettling aura.
Legend says that restless spirits, unable to find peace, wander amongst the trees, their sorrow clinging to the very air you breathe. Some believe the forest itself is a magnet for those seeking solace, drawing them in with its eerie tranquility. Now, I'm not here to speculate on the reasons people choose to end their lives. It's a tragedy, and it's important to treat this place and its history with respect. But the sheer number of lost souls who have met their end in Aokigahara has, understandably, led to a plethora of ghost stories and legends.
Chapter 4. Next up, we're heading stateside to sunny California. But don't let the sunshine fool you, because our next stop is anything but cheerful.
We're talking about the Winchester Mystery House, a sprawling Victorian mansion that's as baffling as it is creepy. Imagine this: staircases that lead to the ceiling, doors that open to brick walls, and windows overlooking other rooms. It's like a labyrinth designed by someone who'd never actually been inside a house before.
The story behind this architectural anomaly is just as strange as the house itself. Sarah Winchester, heiress to the Winchester rifle fortune, became convinced that she was cursed by the spirits of those killed by her family's firearms.
To appease these restless spirits, Sarah embarked on a 38-year construction project, adding on to the house day and night, guided by what she claimed were messages from the beyond.
Chapter 5. Hovorka Glassworks. Echoes of Industrial Agony. From the sunny shores of California, we're jetting off to the Czech Republic, to a place where industry and the afterlife collide, the abandoned Hovorka Glassworks. Now, this isn't your typical haunted house. This is a sprawling factory complex, frozen in time, where the echoes of a bygone era mingle with whispers of restless spirits. Imagine, if you will, the clanging of machinery, the hiss of molten glass, the shouts of workers, all silenced, replaced by an eerie stillness that sends chills down your spine. The Hovorka Glassworks were once a hive of activity, but today it stands as a crumbling testament to a darker side of industrial history. They say the former owner of this factory was a real piece of work, a ruthless taskmaster who treated his workers like dirt. Now, legend has it that this cruel factory owner met an untimely end within the very walls of his glassworks. Some say it was an accident. Others whisper of revenge. Chapter 6. Poveglia Island. Quarantine of Souls. Our next stop takes us to the watery abyss of the Venetian lagoon, to an island shrouded in darkness and despair. Poveglia Island. This tiny island, just a stone's throw from the romantic canals of Venice, harbors a chilling secret, a history so dark, so disturbing, that it's said to be one of the most haunted places on Earth. Imagine, if you will, a place where the sick and dying were sent to be forgotten. For centuries, Poveglia served as a quarantine zone for plague victims, a dumping ground for the bodies of those who succumbed to the Black Death. It's estimated that over 160,000 souls breathed their last on this cursed isle, their final moments consumed by agony and despair. As if that wasn't enough, Poveglia later became home to a mental asylum, where unspeakable experiments were allegedly performed on patients. The stories that emerged from this island are the stuff of nightmares, tales of torture, madness, and souls forever trapped between this world and the next. No one lives on Poveglia Island today. The Italian government owns it, and they've made it pretty clear that visitors are not welcome. Some say it's for safety reasons. The buildings are crumbling, and the island itself is sinking into the lagoon. Chapter 7. Leap Castle. Where darkness dwells. Our final destination takes us to the Emerald Isle, to a place where history and horror collide. Leap Castle, located in County Offaly, Ireland. This imposing castle, perched atop a rocky outcrop, has a reputation that precedes it. A reputation for violence, tragedy, and spectral encounters that would make even the most hardened skeptic think twice. Built in the 15th century by the fearsome O'Carroll clan, Leap Castle has witnessed centuries of bloodshed and brutality. It's said that rival clans clashed within its walls, their battles echoing through the ages, their spirits forever bound to the stones.
One particularly gruesome tale speaks of a secret dungeon known as the Oubliette. This pit, accessed through a trapdoor in the castle floor, was reserved for enemies of the clan. Victims were thrown into the darkness, left to die a slow and agonizing death.
So, there you have it, folks. 7 of the most haunted places on Earth. From ancient curses to tragic histories, these locations offer a glimpse into the darker side of human experience, where the veil between our world and the next feels terrifyingly thin. Now, I'm not saying you should book a flight and spend the night in a haunted castle. Although, if you do, please bring a camera crew. I'd love to see that footage. But maybe the next time you're feeling brave, you'll remember these stories and the mysteries they hold. So, which place would you dare to visit? Leave a comment below and let me know what creeps you out the most. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more spooky adventures, even if they don't involve confirmed ghosts. Until next time, stay safe. And maybe, just maybe, keep the lights on.